Hey guys, King of Charmander here to be your judge, your jury, and your analyst, and today I bring to you the Season 1 Big Bitch Meta in Season 11. So what 10 seasons later is the big blue bird, the big rabbit, the big blue rabbit, and the hunk of junk trash Registeel. Is that team combination still really freaking good in Open Great League? Well, we're going to find out in this video. One of my friends mentioned, he's like, you should do a video about BBML, about Season 1 BBML, and see if it's still good. And it's still freaking good. Arguably better since Registeel got buffed. And of course, Azu and Altaria are still long-lasting meta picks for Open Great League. So, if you are wanting to find a team and you don't know what to use, Season 1, this is the most powerful team in Season 1, the best team in Season 1. And does it still work for Season 11? Well, we're going to find out, and it's disgustingly good. Disgustingly good. But before we get started, since we're talking about meta, this is going to be my therapist mental health tip of the day. As usual, you could skip this by going to the timeline, just fast forwarding a few minutes, or it's going to be on the chapters on the description below. Speaking of meta, since we're talking about meta, the meta for psychotherapy, or at least from what a lot of what I've seen, or a lot of like cases I've been shared with, etc., is motivational interviewing. So what motivational interviewing is, this is a little tip on motivational interviewing. If you've been in therapy, this has probably been used on you a lot, or it's actually been used on me as well. So motivational interviewing, this is a good time for it, and it's a good little description and a good basis and breakdown of what motivational interviewing is. One approach to counseling called motivational interviewing emphasizes the importance of a person's motivation for change. Someone who thinks about leaving their job and searching for a new career will likely be wrought with ambivalence. The thought process might look something like this. The pros of your current career is I'm good at what I do, but you're not happy at your job. You have a stable of your income, but your con is the career takes too much time. You worked hard to get where you're at, but you feel unfulfilled in your current career field, which is the reason why a lot of us decide to change career fields, which is why I switched to being a psychotherapist. Those cons that you're talking about, those are my pros. I'm happy at my job. I have a lot of flexibility in my own career, and I feel a ton of fulfillment being able to help everyone with their deepest and darkest secrets and all of the challenges they face along the way, especially when it comes to kids. That's one of the fulfillments I have. And I was able to help all the success from my cases in 2001 to 2020 who definitely made this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So, and build upon it. So yes, take a look at it. Motivational interviewing, it's probably the meta. If you go to therapy, you might look at this being done to you or someone being done to them. So, take a look at this description. And this is Season 1 BBML, the meta in Season 1. This is the best team in Season 1. And we're going to test it in Season 11 and see if it still works just as well, or if it's still really good. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here we go. Season 1 Big Bitch Meta. Good enough to play in Season 11. Considering only Altaria leads, I think so. So we got Altaria and Deoxys Defense. This isn't actually that bad. I feel bad for gatekeeping and using a Season 1 BBML team. So this is actually a good matchup for us. The thing about Deoxys Defense is even if it does have Rock Slide, this isn't a comfortable matchup for your opponent unless they plan on Psycho Boosting. Either way, I can tank a move from my opponent no matter what the heck they have. So they have Psycho Boost, that's fine. It only does about like 20% my HP, and then I get a switch on a wall raid. We get the super fast lightning insta teleportation switch off, like Goku. The reason I mentioned Goku is this Friday I'm watching the new Dragon Ball Super movie with my brother, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to see it. Earthquake 69420 Earthquake attempts to go through, and I'm gonna shield both of them. My opponent's probably gonna go straight Earthquake since they fired the first one. I might as well shield both of them and then just debuff my opponent, or I could take the second one. Now it's -1, doesn't really matter, and I made the right call against my opponent. I should have overcharged here, but the thing is, one Zap Cannon won't actually kill this wall raid. So they could choose to let it go or I'll shield. And they choose to shield. So I'm like, dang, you really want switch. But with a -2, this wall raid is not going to be able to kill me. I try to catch the Earthquake, and my opponent had the same idea. They were like, let me try to catch a Zap Cannon or Focus Blast. And unfortunately, that just didn't work out for them. Now, the thing about this is that you got Deoxys Defense, Psycho Boost, but it isn't able to do enough damage to kill my Altaria. The bad thing is my Altaria can go ahead and get farmed down, but it just happens to be a Ninetales, which is alright. We have a whole Walrus, and I have a Registeel. So Registeel is literally about to sweep the unholy crap out of this team. I fire a Zap Cannon. My opponent's going to fire a charge move, but it doesn't really matter at this point. And then I have an Azu. All I have to do to end this match is have Azu get the play rough, and then that's game. Side Shot goes through. This won't do a lot of damage, especially -1. And I'm just going to fire the Focus Blast right away. I'm going to switch into Azu, fire off one play rough. Azu should be able to tank a lot of Earthquakes from that wall rain. And then as you see here, it's pretty much game over. I can get to 2 play roughs if I want to. 2 Earthquakes aren't enough to kill, even though if they have all this energy. And unfortunately, that's GG's. Azu is thick with a mighty boovie. Even though it's literally an egg shape, its butt is enormous, its thighs are large, and it can tank everything even if it's non-XL. I have a rank 1. This is a rank 1 non-XL, okay? Not XL, level 4. I say it all the time. 40s and 50s have different rankings for a reason. And this is a rank 1 level 40. So as you see, rank 1 level 40 can still do work in this league. All I have to do is literally just bubble down, or Registeel comes in and locks you down with one of the most annoying ear sound bleeding sound effects I have ever heard playing Cobali. This is why I don't play with sound, which is good because you need sound to count. I just use my eyes. I use visually, I use feeling. Just both of those, or subconscious. I do that all the time. So next, we're gatekeeping it at Rockets for Life. You mean like Team Rocket, you know what I mean? Like, I guess, yeah, prepare for trouble, make it double with a Deoxys Defense. Speaking of double, this is just another DD lead. They switch it to a Registeel, and then I'm like, ah, crap. So I can't really switch out of this Registeel safe switch, which really sucks. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to trip some damage. I want them to blow their energy before I switch out. That's basically what I want to do. Or I can stay in with my Altaria and attempt to try to do as much chip damage as possible. But 2 Zap Cannons will take out my poor Altaria. I switch into Registeel. This thing has 0 energy. However, they are head. So what I can do here is I can expend both of my shields, take out my opponent's Registeel, or they're going to swap out eventually because the switch timer is up. As you see, I'm just overcharging just a little bit, and I'm going to fire the Zap Cannon. If they shield, that's great. If they don't, that's okay. I will do some chip damage here, and then I can go ahead and farm down if it doesn't kill them in 1 shot, and unfortunately, they died in 1 shot. So Plan A didn't work. So we have to summon the B team. The B team was a great movie, by the way. Wait, no, yeah. Yeah, it's a great, I mean, it's the A team. The A team is a great movie. You don't always have a plan B. But as you see here, fire the Zap Cannon. It's going to do a lot of damage against Deoxys Defense, which is why I guess they elect to shield. And they really have an answer with Altaria or Azu in the back. They could fire this move. I'm going to let my Registeel go, but I might not even get KO'd by this because it's -1 and it's a Thunderbolt. So because it's Thunderbolt, I will get KO'd, unfortunately. But I send an Altaria, and it happens to be a Wall Raid. I'm going to fire this Moonblast and hope that it goes through. If it does, I do big damage, or I get the debuff, and it does go through, which is great. Because now I have Wall Raid versus Azu. Azu should be able to get to 2 playoffs here and take out this Wall Raid, and I still am able to just... I'm just going to be able to fast move down. That's basically it. Wall Raid's Earthquakes don't do enough damage, even if I don't have an XL Azu. Earthquake does about like 30%, but I'm going to shield anyways. They're probably going to go straight Earthquake and attempt to take my shield and then do as much damage as possible, and they do. They're going to fire another Earthquake here. I should theoretically overcharge just a little bit, but whether I do or not, it's fine because the Deoxys Defense is so hurt in the back, it really doesn't matter what the hell I do at this point. As you see here, they catch the Play Rough with their own Deoxys. Like I mentioned, it doesn't really matter because all that's going to happen, Play Rough goes through, and then I send in my Altaria to go ahead and chip down this Deoxys Defense. We're either going to simultaneously die, or Deoxys Defense has to fire a move. And as you see, they fire a move. And that's literally just enough energy for me to get to another, to almost get to another Play Rough. I fire 1 bubble, get to the Play Rough, and that's GG's. They could have won that if I didn't switch out, considering Thunderbolt would KO Azumarill, but I was able to force them to blow their energy with Deoxys Defense. So I still could have lost this match, but I recognized my win condition and I just ran with it. We're gatekeeping like a mother. Well, not really gatekeeping at this point because we're in the 28th, but they're pretty close to Legends, so it's technically still gatekeeping. And as you see here, we got Swampert onto Altaria. That still isn't a comfortable matchup for you. As you see, I swap quick as heck because I'm really trying to work on switching when I see the name rather than looking at typings. It's faster when I recognize names because I'm like, oh, Marowak, okay, Azu. That's why it was that quick. That's what she said, by the way. I'm just kidding. I hope she doesn't say that. Or he says that. Whichever one you identify as. Anyways, as you see here, we're going to fire this Play Rough. And then this should either break a shield or they're going to eat it. Which is fine. Because that bubble going through, I should be able to bubble down this Alolan Marowak. Even if the Shadow Bone does debuff. At least I hope. And as you see here, bubble down does work. Even though they have Hex. Swampert comes back in. I keep alignment. That's basically what it is. I got dangerously close though. So, Swampert, if this thing has Sludge Wave, it's still kind of scary because Sludge Wave still does an enormous amount. Not enormous, but it will put you in the yellow if you're the Altaria user. Sadly, unfortunately, my Taiwanese Altaria, yes, my Altaria is Taiwanese. I caught it during Taiwan Go Safari. Taiwan Safari, this was literally like the first year they did Safari. And Sludge Wave, I'm glad I shielded that, otherwise it would have really sucked. We get a Trevenant into our Registeel, and that's perfectly fine. Because what my master plan here is to debuff this as much as humanly possible. Zap Cannon will still do a decent amount of chunk damage, and all we do is leave Altaria with shields. With that final shield. And that should be enough to take out my opponent. As you see, our opponent starts shielding, they start taking out, and then now that's one debuff Trevenant. It's going to happen again unless they blow their energy this time around. And then I'm just going to shield this. And then I'm going to fire another Zap Cannon. My idea here is that I want to take him to the zeros, but I should be able to win as long as I get a Sky Attack on Trevenant regardless. Plus, Trevenant is -2 at this point. Or my opponent eats the Zap Cannon, farms down my Registeel, and dies. As you see here, my opponent chose death. They chose violence and they chose death. Because now a Shadow Ball won't kill at this range, and I should just be able to Dragon Breath down because they ate that Zap Cannon. So, Shadow Ball goes through, this won't KO, this will put me in the yellow, and all I have to do is Dragon Breath down, and that's GG's. Season 1 BBML is still incredibly powerful. Sadly, my Taiwanese Altaria is not rank 69, unfortunately. It's rank 66, close enough. When I noticed it, I was like, oh, it's a rank 66, and I was like, man, I wish it was 69. Like, I know, right? We get a Mew for the lead, and I'm guessing this Mew is going to charge up to 2 wild charges before it throws a move. So we're right here. They're going to go 2 wild charges. You can eat the first one, and then I can fire the second one. They're going to fire this, and then then they're going to swap out. I should have fired immediately because I would have propped Mew to use a shield. Now they could switch out and catch it if they don't switch right away. And unfortunately, they do not. But at this point, Mew can choose to they can let go of their Mew and come out with 2 shields, which is essentially their game plan right here. And we get a Registeel. This really sucks. So with Registeel, now this is a lot of trouble because Registeel with shield advantage is terrible. The thing is though, Altaria is going to do a ton of chip damage here. If they don't throw a move, yeah, you're going to come out with 100 energy, but the issue is your Registeel is super hurt. So I might be able to come out with some kind of like fast move win condition with Azu. I know it's rough to ask for, and we get a Swampert. My opponent switches to Swampert, and this is kind of terrible because now I'm able to put Swampert against my Azu. And Azu should be able to live a lot of Hydro Cannons unless this is carrying Sludge Wave. If it does, it sucks a lot. And it sucks a lot. As you see, Sludge Wave does literally like 75% of my HP. And then I'm going to fire this Play Rough. The good thing is we still have Registeel in the back. The bad thing is their Reggie has a lot of energy. So I'm going to have to really finesse my way to victory here. But we can't afford to have Registeel onto this Swampert. So, what I'm going to do here is I have to call the Hydro Cannon, and I do call the Hydro Cannon, and thankfully I'm able to get to the Play Rough. Oh my god. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But the reason why I think my opponent did this is because they were going to finish me off anyways, and they don't know I have Registeel in the back. And now all I have to do is go straight for the Focus Blast, and it's game over. One Focus Blast won't kill my range, and with shield advantage, I should be able to get to the second one. So, if fire Zap Cannon, doesn't really matter. I'm going to attempt to sack just for, yeah. Ah, dang. I don't count lock-ons, by the way. I played the Registeel matchup so much that that was just extra disrespectful. Now my boy here just stops tagging because like, damn dude, you didn't have to do me like that. I didn't even need to do that. I just did that. You know, that's just for it's practice. You know, like Island Iverson. We talk about practice. And I hope y'all enjoy that sweet little that extra disrespectful slap swap. And for our final battle, we have Final Boss AJ. She's a cool content creator on Twitch. You should totally follow her. And I felt super bad for playing her because she was in the 29-15s, and I was like, you know, when you're making content, I kind of don't want to lose, and you know, yeah. it's what it is. As you see here, we get Mew onto Altaria. We can eat this wild charge over here. And let's see what AJ is going to do. She's either going to swap out or fire her second one. When she does, I'm going to shield this one. So she's either going to swap, she's likely going to swap out of this. And as you see, we get a Frostless and I switch immediately to Registeel. So this is a very dominant matchup. And Shadow Ball hurts. So I'm going to shield the first one. And then I'm going to fire Zap Cannon to break her shield. This will debuff her to the point where eating the second Shadow Ball isn't going to be much at all. It still does a decent chunk of damage, but that's perfectly fine. And she doesn't actually shield, which is kind of terrible because now I'm going to be able to farm down and you get a debuff Shadow Ball. So now I come out with a Registeel full of energy. They still have the Mew, however, I'm going to be able to get a ton of energy here, and that's terrible. The trash can is still mighty, and unfortunately 10 seasons later in season 11, this trash can is still freaking amazing. We fire the Focus Blast, and this is pretty much game. We have Azu against Obstagoon, and we still have a whole Altaria left for that Mew. Well, not a whole Altaria, but Altaria should be able to move. We get to a Focus Blast. Even if this is the Mew, that's perfectly fine. All I have to do is send an Altaria, or it goes through, and we just absolutely eviscerate this poor Obstagoon. The boom comes through, the freaking take my energy, Spirit Bomb, and then bang, and then it's game over. And I feel really bad because this Wild Charge isn't going to kill, and we gatekeeping. Play Rough goes through, this will kill. GG's, final boss AJ. Totally follow her on Twitch, she's amazing. She's a amazing shoutcaster as well, does a lot of stuff for Sylph. And that's GG's. I hope y'all enjoyed the battles, especially that last one with the Sack Swap on the Registeel. That felt so damn good when I was like, yes. And that's GG's. Holy crap, I was not expecting. Yeah, that Sack Swap was actually really dang good. I'm still like, dang, I still got it. Mind you, I don't count with one turn fast moves. I just feel, and then, yeah. And then I didn't even need to do that. It was just, you know, whenever you have the opportunity to practice your Sack Swaps, just do it. Even if you're absolutely dominating your opponent. Even if it means destroying their will and possibly you being the reason why they didn't make Legend. Or closer to Legend per se. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the battles. It looks like Season 1 meta still works in Season 11, which is absolutely insanity. Arguably, Registeel is also stronger than it was in Season 1, especially with how, yeah. You know, Niantic, Season 12 movesets didn't even matter. Like, there's so many things that were meta that even if you flip something then Season 12, unless it was like something astronomically overpowered, as you see, most of the meta is still here to stay. Walrein and Trevenants are still running around, and despite all of that, freaking Season 1 BBML is still way able to take on Season 11 for some odd reason. But I hope y'all enjoyed the battles. I hope y'all are enjoying the rest of the season. Hopefully y'all made Legend. If you didn't, next season always is the time to try. So next season, there's, like I always say, there's always going to be another season for y'all to make Legend. But the good thing is Season 12 is almost here. So hopefully these changes are going to be good. Hopefully these new cups are going to be good. And they actually put some thought into some of these metas. Hopefully. We can only hope, right? But hopefully there are some changes too with Go Battle League or something like that, because we need something to change, man. Hopefully. We'll pray. I mean, they had like what, 30, they had literally a whole season with no moveset changes. Like you must have been thinking of something, right? But it's Niantic, so that's too much to wish for. Do me a huge favor, please like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. I'll have Season 12 Season 12 content out as soon as it's announced. And then updates on like Great League teams, etc. So look out for that as well. And I'm just publishing a few things here and there until Open Great League comes back, or until Season 12 releases, which is going to be pretty dang soon. So good luck on your Legend pushes. Hopefully y'all are enjoying your Go Battle League, the rest of Go Battle League, especially for y'all that already hit Legend. You're like me, we're just chilling. Good luck on your Go Battle League sits, and I will see y'all on the next video.